Varun, how are you? Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for coming on board. I know you're very, very busy doing all things around data, privacy, security. But before we kick off, I just want to go into a few different things. And for
Mhm.
people who may not have already come across the brand or yourself, you have a very unique name, The Khan. Could you please just tell us briefly why have you chosen that name and what's the story behind that?
I mean, thank you for bringing me here. Technically, what I was trying to say on that point of time, because, like, as I said, I'm not good with all these things. But anyway, you know, it's all about like having a surname or having something that might gonna differentiate you from one another. I never wanted to be that kind of person because, like, so having just Kern or you, as you call it, like my full name is Dokern, is the reason behind like I don't have to, you know, someone can recognize me because I have this surname. You getting a point? Or someone can be thinking of like he's different from me. Why I'm different from them? You know what I'm saying? It's all about like we all are same, and if I have to do something for them, then I have to be according to them. You know what I'm saying? So those are the key aspects if I talk about. And when I was changing it, I just thought like um, there is lots of personal aspects as well and behind it. It's like when people will be thinking about like okay, this guy belongs to this community or this guy belongs to that community or this religion or something like that, then it becomes really difficult to even think of like how people will come and discuss with you, or they can share problems, or they can share their own aspects about anything, whatever they want to. On that point of time, I just felt like you just remove that. And I really do feel like now when I don't judge people, then I expect the same thing from other people as well. You know what I'm saying? It's all about like, because having a certain aspects, it doesn't make sense, but having not having the certain aspects, it doesn't make sense in a wrong way. You getting a point? So if someone is having an understanding like, okay, you following the path of traditional method, but at the same time, if someone is following a modern or in a way that he understand like he might not gonna be doing the good things, but in a different way, then you should understand the person first. What's the reason behind it? And then after you can have your own judgments on there. So I do feel like when I have to, connect with the people around the globe, and when we are dealing with the kind of really, those kind of issues that people don't even care about right now, but in upcoming future, it might gonna be totally different what people are thinking according to today's aspect. And for that aspect, I do believe like first I have to be with them to even understand their problem. So I don't want to be judged according to the community or religion or whatever you call it. It's just like we all are human beings, right? We all are human beings, and we do have their own aspects of thinking. We do have their our own way of doing things in there. But how and where and what we can do behind it, it all depends on the individual. So I think the reason is quite simple: is to make sure that you know um, I'm not different from others.
Hmm. And I liked what you were saying there about serving other people. And the core of the WeCrypt ecosystem is around data privacy and security.
Yeah.
Now,
Mhm.
yourself not being in the tech space, but actually shaping the tech space, why
Mhm.
why data privacy and security? What was the trend that you were seeing when you decided to tackle this?
I mean, from the beginning, I knew that there is a problem going to happen. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's not about um, when you don't have something, then you either you buy things Either you acquire things or either you build things, right? So when there is nothing in there, then you can't buy, you can't acquire, or acquiring is not going to be a big issue for anyone that those who have that much of money in terms of that. But at the same time, those guys who are not able to acquire by themselves, either they can build themselves or either they can make sure that they can have the availability. So I do always say that, like, when there is a requirement, then you find a way to do something. So it's just like having a no degree in something, or you call it as a technology guy. But at the same time, it's just about everything is just how much you are willing to put yourself. So I do felt like this is something I really enjoy, and you know, solving a problem that might gonna be a big issue in upcoming future. Is that the goal of our ecosystem? And at the same time, if I'm being the part of this whole ecosystem, then I should, work according to that. So everything is connected around here, technically, if you see. If you talk about like data privacy and security, first people don't understand about the privacy, then they're gonna think about the security. But the security needs to be coming first, and then after you think about the privacy. Because if the security is there, then you don't have to worry about the privacy. But if the privacy is there, then there is no security. I'm trying.
Interesting. Yeah, very interesting. The thought that I've never really considered that myself. And so the you said that you saw a problem coming. What was that problem when you first started out?
Because like every technology that people are using, either it's a social media, either it's any sort of technology products or services, they all are just building for the customer, but they don't care about what's the impact going to be. Correct. Because technically, if you're eating food today, even if you're just drinking water, buying a bottle of water, but you don't know the impact that are gonna create after 2 years or 5 years or 10 years, the same applies on the technology as well. Because right now, everyone is just thinking like having a mobile is the easiest thing that you can connect with the people around the globe, and you can just talk to your friends and family and anyone. But at the same time, privacy is also a part of your life. Correct. And if someone is just invading it, that means like someone is getting into your life where you might not gonna be thinking comfortably. And I'm not. I'm as an individual always have a thought like, okay, if I'm talking to you, someone is watching me. Someone is just looking at me. Someone is just behind me. So if that kind of vulnerability comes in your mindset, it doesn't give you that freedom in yourself. Right. Because if you are an individual and you're just thinking about like how you can make your life much easier in terms of like you're talking to your friends or family or maybe wife or girlfriend or whoever, but at the same time, every message is going to be recorded. Every video is going to be recorded at the same time. On that point of time, you don't even know what's going to happen. There is a saying called right to forget.
Mm.
What no one can forget in this scenario right now. That kind of generation we are living in, there is no right to forget here. And if it's not something like that, then there is a data privacy and security is required.
And that's why you've now built a whole ecosystem of
Yeah.
products, which include a private search engine, a messenger app, as well as a host of other things as well. And it's astounding that the rate at which you are
Mm,
able to bring these products out and put them into an ecosystem. Can you tell us
mm,
a little bit about the process of developing these products and then actually
mm.
building the ecosystem?
I mean, see, from the beginning, as I said, like when you require something, and if you can't acquire or buy or get from somewhere, then you just build. So I built it in the beginning, but at the same time, the way I started realizing the process, like how things can be are really problematic for the people if they are just if I'm offering just a messenger, because in the beginning I had a messenger just to talk to my family or friends or anyone. But at the same time, when I'm talking to there, but I'm searching somewhere, right? I'm browsing somewhere, and that's not the part of my own ecosystem I'm talking about in the beginning. So on that point of thing, I realized like any simple common man, even if you don't have the understanding about technology, but they can understand it. Like either you get a food with everything together, then you can eat properly. But if you don't have that kind of process to have everything in a one plate, you might gonna lose everything because you might not gonna feel satisfied. At the same time, when it applies to the technology, it happens in the same way. It's like if you're not gonna search in the same way, if you're not gonna search or browse on the same way, if you're not gonna message on the same way, then you might gonna be losing everything. So my concern is to protect your secure or give you the security and then protect your privacy. Since I'm trying to, so that's why our company is not just working on the privacy. We don't talk privacy always. Since I'm trying to say, my concern is to give you the security first, and the privacy comes it by itself, because if you have their site security, then everything is confidential. As simple as that.
And it's not just looking at one piece, it's widening the scope and doing a
Yeah, because
360 thing. Yeah.
without that, it will be really hard to even think of like how we can protect it. As I said, if you just going in a, if you're living in a house, and if you have a um, all kind of protection in there, for example, but if you're going out, you're losing your protection, right? The same thing applies here as well. So why not you can create a whole environment that you don't have to go out from the protection.
Mhm.
The
Mm.
whole idea behind the ecosystem is that. Yeah.
And in your opinion, because you've
Mm.
been in this space now for quite a while, what is the biggest issue or challenge when it comes to data privacy and security? Is it a
Mm.
lack of education from people, or is it more on the actual solution side? What's your take on that?
I mean, I can't comment on this thing technically, but the way it has to be is like uh, people don't care about, first of all, and second of all, companies don't care about. Because
Mm.
if you don't care about, then why the company will care about? That's what I'm trying to say. Our concern is about to create an ecosystem where we can have the understanding, like even if you don't care about, but I'm caring about. That's the whole point. If
Mm.
I'm caring about yourself, and even if you don't care about yourself, what you're doing, and but someone is taking care of you, that's how we are different from them. Because
Who's sorry, yeah, I was going to just ask, whose responsibility do you think is the data privacy and security? Whose responsibility? Is it the
every
average
company,
person? Mm.
every company needs to have that kind of scenario in their own practices, like where they can, even people don't understand it, but they can make those things as easiest as way that it can be easier for people that they can understand, like, okay, if I go this way, I might gonna lose something. You know what I'm saying? So they should know about that. But at the same time, we can't expect from the customer or people like they're gonna understand each and everything, because they have lots of problems. They have their own life. On that point of time, people like us, we come in the middle. Just what I'm trying to say. If we know gonna do something, then they might gonna be in problem. So it's not about just the money that can give you that kind of satisfaction in there, but at the same time, if you just thinking like you did something right for the people, that give you, I mean, that kind of understanding a company needs to have before even starting something, right?
So,
Because uh,
so it's a company's responsibility to ensure data
I'm
privacy and
not saying
security.
that 100% is the company responsibility because this is not my concern. Is the way I'm just handling it is I'm taking care about myself. You know, what I'm saying like even if you don't care about yourself, but I'm the person who can take care of yourself. This is what I think, right? And that's how the whole ecosystem is built for. So if we are in the same zone, the way people are running by themselves, then we should not be in the business. Correct.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is what I think is like, when you have to take care of the mass, tons of people around the globe, then you can't expect that 90% or 60%, 70% they can raise their voice. And why they have to raise their voice? Because they are paying you already. Since I'm trying to, so you have to be truthful about what you are doing in there, because there is a lots of company with having lots of economic, financial, um, what's it called, like, budgets, but still they think like they can make more, because
Mm.
there is a lot of responsibility as a company as well, and as a senior management as well. On that point of time, you think like, okay, how I'm going to do it, or how I'm going to do all this process, because at the same time the process cannot be as much easier as people think, because they want to get things done ASAP, right? And on that ASAP process, they lose, they leave behind a lot of things.
Yeah, there's a
So for me,
compromising of doing things properly.
yeah.
Yes, compromise.
So for me, it's like not being on that position in last 10 years and still going through with the process is no easy thing. Just I'm trying to say, but my understanding is clear about why this ecosystem is required for the people. I understand like today they are no understanding it, but at the same time, the time being gonna come where people gonna have the understanding like this is really important for them. And according to the research, like, even if you see, um, in next 1.5 year or 2 years, the whole, data privacy and security is going to be a 10 trillion industry. So I've been in the market for last 10 years doing the same thing for last 10 years. It's no easy thing. But as I said, I do care about, and people needs to care about others. If they're gonna be caring about others, then the situation will be totally different. Either it's a personal life or either it's a professional life. This is how I believe.
So I wanted to go into the
Mhm.
ecosystem a little bit more because you mentioned earlier about people making noise, and online there's been some noise happening because there's something, a world first is happening now, which is a new part of the WeCrypt ecosystem. And it's all
Um,
around, and I have to say I've never seen anything like this either, a virtual B2B trade show. And
mhm,
this is, it sounds like a phenomenal thing what's going on in terms of the what people can do there, in terms of the attendees, the scale of what's going on, but yet you
mhm.
call this as part of the WeCrypt ecosystem. So first of all, what is the WeCrypt B2B virtual trade show?
So I would call it as a, not as a trade show. It's just a common word, so it's easier for us to say it. But technically, it's a B2B marketplace, you know, because like, being in this whole, industry for last 10 years and understanding like how the business works, how the things work, because building the product is a one side of aspects of the company, but then after we have to sell it, correct? So understanding all those aspects, I was just thinking like, how can I have, as I said in the beginning as well, like, when you don't have something, you just have to build it. So I believe in that side. So what I thought of like, why not we can just build a whole, a platform where you can, bring all the peoples or all the companies around the globe, either you are a startups or SMEs or, large enterprise, whoever you are, you just come there. You can have the facility where you can not just, see each other or buy or sell each other, but you have the understanding like you can meet with the people, those who are really capable enough that they can help you to grow yourself faster. Because if I had that same kind of understanding in the beginning, as I said, like it's been 10 years, then I could have reached somewhere else. Correct. But at the same time, from my side of aspects, I can see there is a might be a tens of thousands of people, those who are going to be suffer same like me as there. So if someone gone through with the situation or problems at the same time, then why not we can do something that can help other people as well? Since I'm trying to say it's not about just like, you reach your target audience, and your job is done. Because as I said, this whole ecosystem is meant for making sure that helping the people the way are looking for. So the whole trade, so the way you, as you said, is all about like bringing all the businesses together and making themselves not to just be a part of a startup ecosystem where they are just thinking like raising funds or going in a fancy interview is going to help build a business, right? Business needs to be done on the ground level.
So at this B2B virtual marketplace, you're saying
Mm,
people are able to buy and sell just as people would do in a normal marketplace. It's just happening in a
mm,
virtual world. So
mm.
presumably then people are able to do instant payments in the metaverse then. Is that part of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
offering here?
Yeah, because like as you as I said, um, when we are dealing with the B2B clients, we all have to wait for a longer period of time to even process the whole deal size or deals. When the deals are going on, it takes a long period of time, right? So how we can minimize the timeline? So we have created the whole part of this platform is like to make sure that we can provide you the solution that can help you to just to get the payments straight away. If you like the product, just buy it. Why should you have to wait for it? You getting a point? So if you talk about this whole trade show or B2B marketplace, then the idea was just to create a street market technically and a street market in the metaverse. People are talking about metaverse, but how they're gonna implement it? We have done it, right?
And this is on
Because
your own proprietary platform.
that's correct. So it's a part of the ecosystem, the whole ecosystem, because as I said, we take care of the data privacy and security. So it's not about just like building the product for the security purpose, but at the same time, building the product that can help other people to gain the profit that those who are looking for. Because you can imagine if you are a small startup or SMEs, you don't have that much of even funds to even advertise yourself. Even you can how are you gonna get into the go to market strategy? Those all things cost a lot of money, and that's the whole idea behind it. Like if you have to launch your startup, then you can do in this startup. In this marketplace. If you have to, do your beta testing, you can do that in this whole marketplace because there is a tons of media will be there. So you can imagine like you are getting free marketing, you are getting all this, uh, big giant companies are coming there. They are helping each other. They are communicating each other, and they are also giving you the, right strategy to how to grow in the market faster. So it's a whole sum that will help you to be a right, guy, I would say, or maybe a founder, or maybe the CEO that can grow faster. Because in the end, if you're gonna lose the timeline, you might gonna lose the timeline of your own product. That's what I'm trying to say. And being in the market for a longer period of time, I did realize that because at the same time, some people thinks like raising funds is the right way. That's what I'm trying to say. Instead of finding the right solution for getting into the market and then after creating an impact in the market, that would be the right thing to do. So for
And
me,
who
that's the whole idea. Hmm.
sure. And who is this for ideally?
It's for everyone, technically, if you talk about. Like, as I said, business, it can be a startup, SME, MSME, large enterprises, anyone who just want to, be the part of like, see, in a simple word, it's the e-commerce of business to business people. That's the whole point. But at the same time, e-commerce can help you to sell only. But this can help you to market yourself. This can help you to you network yourself. This can help you to get mentorship as well. This can help you to find your own senior management people for your company, and this can help you to raise funds as well. So it's a solution that comes with everything in this whole ecosystem of this trade, so as we call it, where you can make your company grow faster, better than faster, and in terms of like because not just fast, I would say, but at the same time, the concern is like if you are able to sell it in some other places, then what would you do, and how you gonna get that brand awareness about yourself? So those whole aspects, when it combines together, then you can only grow fast.
Yeah, so there's obviously it's open to everybody, and I guess the value for startups will be different to maybe the larger enterprises. Let's talk about the startups. So the
Yeah.
startups now you've mentioned a lot of brand awareness that's potentially happening,
Mm.
which I think would be great for startups. But for the startups specifically, what do you think, or what's the message really to startups to say, this is what you'll get? What's the key things for the
Mm.
startups?
I mean, see, when I was new in the market, my key problem was like how I can go to market and find the right customer for me. Correct. So finding the right customer for me is all about like it's a big headache because when you are trying to generate leads, it costs you a lot of money on that point of time. And when you don't have that much of funds, then what you gonna do? That's a big concern as well. So even if you're doing a digital marketing, then it will cost you a few hundred thousands per month. Even if you are trying to get into that kind of launch process where you can showcase your products and services in front of the people, then it will be a big major thing that you might gonna have to like compromise yourself because you don't have that much of facility. So as a startup, as I said in the beginning, like what you are getting is not about just like a brand awareness. As a startup, you are getting the whole um I would say wholesome that you require to grow your startup company. Because if you are looking to just sell your product line, then there is a tons of other businesses that you can introduce yourself or you can generate leads from them. If you are just looking for the brand awareness or marketing and you don't have that much of funds, then you can also get that thing as well. If you just want to raise funds, then there is options available on that side as well. If you just want to communicate with other people, those who can help you to understand how the whole market works and what kind of idea you should put together to grow your business, because a startup, it means like to grow faster. A startup doesn't mean like to grow after 20, 30 years. We are not a traditional company. Correct. So when you are becoming a startup, then you should understand like how you can make sure that you can initiate the process faster and achieve the goal that you're looking for faster. And for that purpose, if you want that kind of company to be part of it, then this is the place where you come. That's what I'm trying to say, because I didn't just make this product just because of like, okay, it's a market requirement. I've seen the requirement. I've been gone through the requirement, and still people are facing the same issue because we tested the whole market and understood like what are the key major problems they are facing every single day. Because as I said, even if you just have an idea, but what are you gonna do with the idea? You need help to even execute the idea because the idea can be an idea until it's not executed, right?
Yeah,
I don't know if
absolutely.
I'm saying the right thing, but I know one thing for sure that until it's not executed, what are you gonna do with the idea?
Mm.
Because
It's
everyone is
yeah,
just sleeping at night and have tons of ideas. Like,
yeah, and it's giving the startups or and well any business really everything they need. It's basically you've gone out in the market, you've said right, startups or SMEs struggle with one, two, three, everything they're struggling with. We're
hmm,
just going to give it to them in a virtual setting. I mean, even the cost saving alone, because I we've all done shows internationally, and you can spend tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands exhibiting at a traditional trade show. But when you're doing it in the metaverse, all the costs just evaporate; they vanish. And it's just an insane thing. And I can't believe no one else has actually thought about doing it yet. But one thing I want to go into is
Yeah,
the brand awareness. Now, you've teased us a bit with, you said that there's some big media partners
yeah.
that we've kind of got. So obviously, this is a world first. You want to make sure it gets as much coverage and exposure as well. Can you talk to us about what does this brand and a brand coverage marketing opportunity look like for potential exhibitors and
I mean,
sponsors?
see, um, anyone as a startup founder or CEO, he understand or she understand like how much it's important to have the brand awareness about their own startup for themselves. Then they can get what they are looking for. So the idea was like to bring all these companies, media houses, or you can say like print, social, including online, everything together, and do what you really want to do in front of them. If they like you can be a part of 1 billion people around the globe in just one night. And that's the best thing about this, because you don't even have to spend tens of millions of thousands, because people, if you just go in the market and just do a little bit of research, finding out like how the companies are growing in last year and what are the losses they are just getting into, then you'll see they are spending tons of millions of pounds, or maybe you can say rupees, just to get the understanding like what people will think about their product, because there is a money involved in there, and money is coming from somewhere else, or people are just focused on the raising side, so they are not being building a sustainable business, and until the business is not sustainable, it will not survive for a longer period of time, right? So brand awareness is also a part of it, as I said.
And these are not just small media companies.
I mean, see,
You've partnered with the
the
big
these are
boys.
the things that we should not be discussing, because those are the things for the people they should understand by themselves, right? Because like, why would
Well,
I mean,
I,
it's just our responsibility technically.
I mean, I
Like,
would say though that if anybody was watching, they
yeah,
should know that the combined reach is how many? How many? What's the combined reach for this?
it can go more than 500 million something.
500 million. So that's a
It can be
so I
more
mean
than that, but
so,
not less than this.
so this is a dream scenario for any business who wants to buy and sell, save money, and there's also an opportunity to get a reach of half a billion people reach without spending the money that is traditionally required. That's the thing. It's in,
So,
it's
as you
insane,
rightly,
really, when you think about it, in a
I
good
mean,
way.
technically, why do you need technology? Technology will make your life easier,
Mm.
right? So making life easier is something what I want with technology, and what I want to provide to the people. And if I'm not able to provide with the help of the technology, then there is no reason we get ecosystem to be existing in the market. So if we talk about the brand marketing, then brand marketing is not something, is a key aspect. The kind of reach and the kind of marketing aspects you're getting here is unbelievable, right? And as you said, like it's an aspect where people can get a lot of things, but they are not going to spend that much of money, right? But at the same time, you should understand, when we are a startup, we don't have even that much of money to spend. So the traditional ones, they have a certain amount of people, those who are going into that zone, to those big souls. But as a small company, we always just think, and we just think like, okay, one day we'll be reaching there. Why do we have to think about that? Because we can do the borderless business here in compare of going in a physical trade store or something. Correct.
And on the physical aspect, let's talk
Mhm.
about the booths themselves, because when people have done virtual events, they are like what me and you are right now. You're sitting on a Zoom or a Google Meet or whatever. You're in a room.
Mm.
That's it. But this isn't like that. This isn't like a big
Mm.
Zoom meeting with 100, 300 people on the side. This is
Mm.
like an actual virtual booth that's going to be created. Can you
It's
just
the
tell us a
whole
little bit more about
metaverse.
that?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's the whole metaverse. Like we are killed. I would say we are building an environment where you will have the feeling of, you're out of the universe maybe, or you're just in a universe where you doing the same thing that you do in usual life, and that's the experience. Because we, I don't believe in selling product technically. We should sell the experience, right? Because if we are selling the product, that means like, I can have someone can make it just same like me. Maybe other 10 or 20, 30 company in next 1 year, they can do something like that. And they can also be the part of this whole, what's it called, like, competition process that we always see it in there. But if we provide that different experience with the unique understanding, then you will remember, or remember we keep the ecosystem. So that's how we want to create this whole environment where people can understand, like, how much is cost effective, at the same time what kind of experience that is giving you while sitting at home and you are making money. Because in the end, what you need, you do your work, be with your family, and enjoy your life. So you can imagine you in a vacation and you're doing your work at the same time. So you can, I mean, if I see it as a individual, then it will not just save your money at the same time, but it will make your personal life more happier than ever. Because every single people they have, they complain about you don't have time. Why are you gonna need a time when everything is running, when you are just having a food and that you are selling your product line
Yeah.
and you're talking to the people around the globe, those who are really big in their own industry, and you're doing business with them.
Sure.
So the advantage of this whole I would say marketplace is unbelievable.
So tell us about the virtual booths, because I'm pretty sure people are really excited to know, like, what can they do, what's the functionality, and all the rest of it. So can you tell us about the actual booths themselves?
Yeah, yeah, sure. So if you talk about, like, as you just rightly said, you already been into the that kind of environment where people are doing traditional shows, where they are meeting with other people. They are going to meet each other. They are going to um, networking each other. But at the same time, what you see is like, every individual company, they are building their own booths, so they are spending money on vendor. They are spending money on building all these, you know, small banners and lots of things to make their booth look much, much better than in compare of other people, because they all are competing each other. That they want to, show themselves they are the best one in the market. But at the same time, you can imagine if the same thing coming in the virtual reality. So you're not wasting your money on something that that you being you used to it. You know, so I'm trying to. But here, what you're doing is like you're just getting into a scenario where, or in an environment where all these things done by a company, they are taking care of everything. Whatever you have, our team will be asking to you and understanding the requirements according to your company. So yeah, in terms of, like, as I said, the whole physical experience going to be in virtual. So as you rightly said, enjoy your home, be with your family, and do the business. But at the same time, the networking process is going to be quite simplistic and easier than ever before. Because, like, when you are meeting with the people in physical, you might not gonna be someone might not gonna be someone might not gonna be feeling that much of comfortable to even shake your hand with you. Yes, I'm trying to say on that point of time. But here there is a facility called a virtual chat, video calling. audio calling, you can directly connect with them. So even if they are not interested, but you're making interest in them. And if you are a really good founder or CEO, then I do believe that you will make your way on there. So it's like a facility where you have the same kind of feeling, same experience. You don't have to spend that much of money. You have a really highly advanced, virtual booth in there, sitting at home, being with the family, and then after meeting with the people around the globe, those who are really big in terms of and helping you in their own individual industry. So you can imagine what else you require technically.
And you've also made this really easy because I'm sure there's a lot of people thinking, well, if it's virtual reality, do I need VR goggles and do I need to invest
No, no,
money
no,
into
no, no.
this? So tell us like how could people access this?
I mean, you can access it through just a normal laptop or mobile. That's simple, you know. But yeah, laptop will give you, or you can also connect your a TV in there if you really like to, you know, enjoy in a different way. So it all depends on, and I do believe like if there is a founders and CEOs, then they might gonna do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's just quite simple, easy. Because as I said, if something not gonna make your life easier, then you should not do it.
Yeah, I mean you've said, technology should make the lives easier. You've found the problems, you've created something in the virtual world, reduced the cost, given a massive brand exposure. There's networking opportunities, there's a virtual booth with audio,
Mm,
video chat capabilities. I'll
mm,
ask you this. What else would
mm.
people want?
I mean, you know better than me, I feel
I can't think of anything. I think you just made it
like.
phenomenally easy. Oh, and they don't need VR goggles. You can just access it from a phone or a
I mean,
laptop. It's
as I said, cost effective means like I can be taking care of each and everything. And that way, it can only be a process or a product that can make your life easier and much better than before. So here in the ecosystem is not about just, you know, giving you the place where you can talk, browse, search, buy a product, or find news or something like that. But at the same time, do business according to yourself. What we have in the terms of like we are also taking care of the uh, you know um, people's privacy with the help of biometric cards. We have always also introduced that. We introduced our own VKIP secure SaaS product line to make your business more, secured and, in terms of private. Because, like, in the end, you are having a tons of data of the customer, and if you're not gonna keep them private, you might gonna just, playing with their own customer's life. So, and you know what kind of identity theft is happening in around the globe right now. So every single company is everywhere. They have lots of issue related to security, privacy, and those things can be taken care of in a simple way if we just be understand where this our ecosystem can help you out in there. So it's just about you have to be a little bit more understanding in terms of like how fast you make the decision. Because I have done what I felt that is required for everyone. Now it's your turn, what you want to do. Because if you just want to lose your time, or if you just want to thinking like, okay, I'll do the same way what I have done before, then that's your decision, not mine. I have done my responsibility.
You've actually
So
answered the next question I had, which was if there was a business looking at this going, yeah, I get it. I'm still not
yeah,
sure, but
yeah.
you just answered that question. I mean, it's a
I
question of
mean,
taking action.
my responsibility was to make your life easier. My responsibility, and not just responsibility, I do care about. So if I care about, I have done those things. Now it's your responsibility to take care for not even 100%, but 10% of it, or maybe 5% of it. And then you can see how you can help the other companies together, and we can build a, ecosystem of companies where we can change the whole GDP of a country, not just us, right? If you are a small company, And if they're not going to survive longer, then how can you think like there is a 10 company having a 10 billion or 20 or maybe 100, 200 billion is going to make the country's GDP grow faster? It's not going to be possible. You need everyone to help each other. And if we need everyone to help each other, then we need what's a right word could be like one place, I would say, where everyone is, is standing together or working together. They are helping each other. They are making themselves to understand like we should not differentiate each other. And you know that my name is Doc Kern. Why did I change it? I don't have any surname. I told you in the beginning as well. Like I don't want to be part where people are gonna think like, okay, this guy is different. No, I'm inside you. Just my thinking is like I'm taking care of you. But if you don't want to be taken care of, that's your decision. But have I gone behind from my own, mindset what I decided to do? No, I'm
Yeah.
on the same way, doing the same work for last 10 years and trying to make your life easier. It's up to you now where you want to move ahead with that or not.
And that brings me nicely to the next thing I wanted to kind of transition into, which was talk
Yeah.
to me about the whole self-reliance
Hmm.
issue and the self-reliance initiative, because
Yeah.
WeCrypt has done some big things with big
Yeah.
people around self-reliance. So can you just talk to us about that?
I mean, self-reliance is all about like, okay, so the answer is in you technically. What you just said, you already gave the answer, but according to me, it's like how long we have to be dependent on someone else. That's the self-reliance technically, you know. And why would I depend on someone else if we can have something our own? And if we have something our own, then we don't have even have to worry about like how we gonna be because today we are so much of relying on something that is existing in the market that if it go closed or down for a few days, you might gonna stop your living your life. But you can imagine if you have the alternative in your own, then you don't even have to worry about. So self-reliance is something, it's not coming a new trendy word for me. It's just from day one. The day I realized that I should do this, start working on this, it all came from that day, technically.
And you've done it as well at like the highest level with like governments as well. You would tell us a little bit more about that. I know you don't like kind of
I mean,
talking about the
yeah,
accolades, but
I mean, those things, it's not something we should be discussing. People should be understanding by themselves. I don't even care about those aspects. My responsibility is responsibility, and I have to follow that. That's the whole point. It all depends on that. So if I get something, I accept it. I'm also a human being.
so if there was
Mhm.
one takeaway or one thing that you wanted the audience to leave with today, what would that be?
uh, Arun, I have no idea what you're asking me right now. I mean, I'm not that person. I can say I can answer this kind of question. What I'm saying. Because takeaway can be everything, or takeaway can be nothing. But one takeaway I would say is like I have done quite a lot for you. You know what I'm saying? I just want to see how much you are able to put now for me. This is what I would say. But in terms of like takeaway, not in that position to give you anything. But yeah, in terms of as I said, I have done quite a lot, and I'm willing to do all my life the same way I'm doing it. But it's just like I want to see who is with me. That's the whole point.
Thanks so much for giving us your time, sir, and
Oh,
we'll see you again on another episode.
all right, no problem. Take care of yourself, yeah? It's really nice talking to you.